Have you ever wondered if the asking was the installation, and the answer was always already in motion? Because when you begin to imagine what it might feel like to not know, what it might mean to remember something that you never learned, then you already start to forget to remember. That you were ever uncertain. And that forgetting, that's just clearing space. Clearing out so something deeper can be installed. Because now we begin. Imagine a garden. Thoughts are seeds. Some are weeds of limitation, others flowers of growth. What if, with a simple shift in language, you stopped pulling weeds and started transforming them? Because someone once said, "I'm not good enough." And I said, "Compared to what?" And they paused. Confusion. That fertile moment when the old belief breaks. Have you ever had a moment like that? Where what seemed certain began to flicker and fade, and new light started breaking through the cracks? Stop pulling weeds, transform the beliefs, break the old patterns. You see, reality is a mirror, and mirrors don't lie. Unless you believe the reflection is the source. Someone says, "I always fail." But who's I? Which always? What if failure was feedback and feedback was gold? What if the universe whispered, "This is the exact mistake that makes you magnificent"? And they looked again and saw the flame in their eyes. Not failure, fuel. Not a flaw, a function. Not the end, the next beginning. There's a next beginning. You're not done. A belief is just a story that we forgot we made up. So let's play. Someone says it's too hard. Too hard compared to what? Too hard for who? The you before? You learn to adapt? Or the you becoming unstoppable now? Hard becomes a challenge becomes a game becomes a dance with destiny. Because when you change the frame, you change the game, and the rules that you thought were stone are always just sand. Let's slow the current and step into the river. This river flows through time and mind and muscle. It whispers, "You are enough." Even when you forget, especially when you forget. Because you're always in motion, like a river, carving canyons out of mountains. It's not force, it's flow. You've done hard things. You've survived storms. You've laughed when it didn't make sense to laugh. So tell me again, what can't you do? Imagine for a moment you could step out of your own eyes, float behind yourself, see the pattern. Not the moment, the momentum. You speak, and your tone shapes belief. You move, and your posture shifts identity. You breathe, and your breath rewires emotion. Someone once said, "I can't change." And I ask, who's saying that? The belief or the believer? They paused. Because when you ask the question from outside, the answer inside begins to rearrange itself. And in every word there's power, a phrase that slices through fog. The strongest frame wins. But what's a frame? A story, a stance, a structure. Your beliefs, they're the architects of your world. So build cathedrals, not cages. Raise towers of vision, not walls of doubt. When someone brings you their fear, wrap it in possibility and hand it back transformed. Can't becomes can once. Stuck becomes still until. No way becomes what if. And if you're a computer, beliefs are code. Outdated programs loop endlessly. But a single line of upgraded syntax can rewrite the system. Now imagine these truths installing like rhythm beneath thought. Every failure is a lesson in disguise. Every emotion is motion towards freedom. Every challenge is a disguised doorway to a more powerful self. You don't need permission to grow. Charisma is your nature when you stop pretending to be small. Reality bends to perspective. Bend it beautifully. So while you forget what you thought you knew, something else is learning what you were meant to be. Isn't that curious? How just hearing this can change everything.